In the age of the internet, more monsters are being made than ever. All someone needs is an idea and some artistic talent, and then you've got yourself a wicked creepy creature. People can invent stories to go along with them too, and sometimes these tales evolve into full-blown legends. Lately, one creator in particular has been doing this quite consistently. Trevor Henderson. This Canadian creature creator constantly puts out wicked stuff. He's most famous for things like Siren Head, but there is much more than meets the eye. So let's see a few of his lesser known but still absolutely terrifying monsters. Hello horror heads, and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host Keegan Hughes, and today we're going to take a look at the Top 5 Scary Trevor Henderson Creatures Part 3. If you're into Trevor's work, make sure you check out his social media. If you want more creepy creatures, you gotta support the artists. Links will be in the description. And if you feel like staying scared, make sure to check out the newest scary channel, Top 10 Central Dark. Lucy and Joss will be reacting to the scariest of scary stuff over there. Wicked. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5, we've got Anxious Dog. Oh boy, this isn't your average canine companion. Definitely not something you want in the house with you, and don't even think about trying to pet its belly. This creature is a pale, semi-humanoid that appears to be hanging out upside down. It's got no eyes and a big human mouth that sits in the middle of its head. Yuck. It has a habit of lurking around just outside of door frames. You look at it and only catch a glimpse of parts of its body. You never really see the lower half. Most of the time it's been seen walking around on its hands with the eyeless face contorted and twisted to face whoever's unfortunate enough to witness it. After all this description, you might be wondering, why is it called Anxious Dog? Well, it's not because it looks like a dog. No, it's because of the sound it makes. If this thing is nearby, you might hear the sounds of nails clacking against the floor. You know, like that of an anxious dog pacing in the hallway. Yuck, I don't want to imagine what its feet look like then. Even though it lurks, don't take it lightly. This beast has been known to get quite violent very suddenly. One moment it's hanging out just outside your reach, the next it's tearing you to shreds and smiling with its awful face mouth. If you hear some clicky clacking and you don't have a pet, get the hell out of there. Coming in at number 4, we've got Watchtower. While a good deal of Henderson's creatures are scary and malevolent, a few manage to be guardian spirits of sorts. Longhorse is a particularly well-known example of this, and today we'll add another to that canon, Watchtower. Trevor posted this cryptid a while ago with the caption, Watchtower, protector, cryptid, and mascot of a certain small town that chooses to remain anonymous. Pretty neat, right? It appears to be a gigantic creature with horns sprouting from its head, or maybe tree branches. Either way, it gives off the appearance of a forest dweller, which makes sense considering it's protecting a small town in the boonies. But what's it protecting the townsfolk from? If you need a monster on your side in order to stay safe, you can probably bet whatever you're going against is pretty scary. Sheesh, maybe we don't need to think too deeply on this one. Even though it's friendly to those outside of the ones it wants to protect, Watchtower can be downright dangerous. Its size alone is enough to stop folks in their tracks. Add in the antler branch things and the ability to take down some horrid beasts, and you'd better be careful. Prove to be dangerous to those its duty is to protect, and get put in the ground. It's just simple logic, right? Other renders of this beast seem to show it with 4 legs and a long neck, kind of giraffe-like. In fact, it sort of reminds me of the forest-dwelling beast from The Ritual, which kind of serves the same purpose, doesn't it? It's a little more violent and demanding of worship, but I wouldn't be surprised if these two were cut from the same cloth. If you're interested in coming face to face with this cryptid, start visiting small towns. Ask around about their mascot, or cause some dangerous trouble. You'll get faster results with that second strategy, but probably get taken down too. Coming in at number 3, we've got the Meat Grinder. Oh, doesn't that sound nasty? It's actually a little more familiar than you might think, even if it's harder to find these days. We all know Siren Head, right? The super tall, lanky beast with the ability to make pretty much any noise. It eats humans, lives in the woods, it's covered in leathery skin. Well, there's a few variants on this popular cryptid. Yep, we've seen classic Siren Head, we've seen ones that look like streetlights or have multiple sirens, and there have even been ones that shapeshift. But there's a new Siren Head variant in town, and it's more fearsome than ever. Known as the Meat Grinder, this thing is terrifying. It's more squat and stout than the stereotypical Siren Head, giving it a shorter stature. Being less tall doesn't make it less dangerous though. It seems to be covered in some sort of glistening red flesh, giving off the impression of being freshly skinned. It also has blood and other viscera pouring from its toothy siren mouth. And I don't know if I'm confident in calling it its blood or blood from some prey. Either way, pretty gross. It likes to live in colder rural areas, so they can be found up north more often than not. Maybe there's a tie-in with The Thing. And to make matters even scarier, the meat grinder tends to be more aggressive than regular siren heads. No blending in necessary, and I doubt it would be good at camouflage anyway. For whatever reason, Trevor deleted this creation and hasn't really addressed it since. Maybe it's part of something bigger to come, or maybe it's simply too dangerous to leave up. Doesn't inspire confidence. Coming in at number 2, we've got 98-8-13. This name simply comes from a Polaroid-style photograph taken of a creature. On a dirt road at night, someone caught a glimpse of a red ghostly figure. They snapped the picture with an old camera of some sort and then it disappeared. This photo seems to be the only thing remaining from that encounter. Eerie. In the bottom corner, you can see the numbers 98-8-13 in orange text. The rest of the picture seems kind of uninteresting. That is, until you notice the red figure off in the distance. It's not immediately noticeable, but once you see it, you can't take your eyes off it. This thing is just standing there, menacingly. It always seems to have a bit of an unnatural lean to it too, almost as if it's about to fall over, but never does. Multiple pictures have been taken of this odd creature, and most of them show that it has a largely emotionless face. But one in particular that was taken near a body of water really turns the creepiness up to 10. It's standing up straight between two tall, skinny trees. It seems to have noticed the camera and is looking right at whoever snapped this shot. The face is emotionless, but the eyes are especially haunting. Something about this makes me doubt the poor photographer made it out alive. And finally, coming in at number 1, we've got Day 17. We discussed breaking news last time. Now let's talk about its counterpart, Day 17. Unfortunately, we may have mixed up two when putting up pictures, but I'm sure you can forgive us. Day 17, also known as the Wandering Faith, is a fascinating beast, one that could end us all. The thing absolutely towers over man-made structures and is often unable to have its whole body captured in one image. Usually, its head will poke up above the clouds and out of frame. That's a big monster. Often the beast is accompanied by an emergency storm warning. Whether this means that it brings bad weather with it or someone with a lot of influence wants us to avoid seeing it is up for debate. But weather generation isn't too far-fetched considering the allure surrounding the Wandering Faith. Take that name for a moment, faith. Makes one think of religion, right? Maybe a god? Well, it seems like this beast also ascends people to heaven or something similar in concept. In one of the posts featuring it, Trevor included a caption that says, "Please stay inside until further notice unless you or a loved one has been pre-chosen." Pre-chosen, eh? Sounds like a rapture of sorts now, doesn't it? So this gigantic beast takes people to a holy place, I don't know if that's scary necessarily, unless you're not pre-chosen, which I guess I'm not. Uh-oh. Man, how does he come up with all these? Let alone draw them and make them believable. It's a talent that only some have claim to, but at least we all get to experience it. What did you think of the list? Which of these creatures is your favorite? What's your favorite Trevor Henderson creature of all time? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more crunchy ones from the top 5 weirdest horror movie monsters. Noise F7 says, "Killer tomato, killer condom, and you don't talk about rubber, the tire who can make the head of people explode and move on its own. Apparently looking for love, according to the trailer." Robert the Tire isn't a monster, he's a revolutionary, a saint, a demigod. Renato Corvaro says, "Damn it, Keegan, even with the beard, I can still see the mustache." What do you think? Should I go for like the chin strap or the soul patch? Or maybe a goatee? Evan Legros says, "Imagine killer soap." Okay, so basically you can't shower with soap without dying. Yep, have fun being dirty forever. Well, there's some pretty insane potential for kills there. Plus, people usually feel that they're the most vulnerable when closing their eyes in the shower, so you can work that in too. Although, I've already got the solution, body wash. And David Bosnight says that's a difficult list to make, with there being a vast amount of monsters to consider. I almost lost myself just thinking about them all. Digging your pattern button-ups, by the way. That's the beauty of monsters. There's always gonna be more. And thank you, I try to get a little snazzy from time to time. And that's all the time we have for today. Before I catch a cold and try to enter a government research lab, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more slimy silliness. Make sure to check out Trevor's work if you're looking for more monsters. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you're into Trevor's work, make sure to check out his social media. Why can't I say that?
I'm pretty sure that there's an anxious dog outside.
Emma, no! It's the monster! Don't tell me that!
Say that if your dog start barking. It hurt you.
God. Okay, well, if I turn up dead, that's what happened. Unfortunately, we will. But at least we get to experience. Nope.